All right, number 7, we want to find the exact value for sine of 30. Okay, so recall sine is giving you the y coordinate from the unit circle. So when we look at 30 degrees, we're going to look for the y value. So from unit circle, find that 30 degrees, x, y, so the y value is just 1/2. So that's going to be our exact value. Number 8, we want to find the acute angle. We're going to round to the nearest tenth. Okay, so on this one, we want to figure out what this angle theta is. The way that you do that, we're going to be using from this trig cheat sheet. Let me show you. We're going to be using the inverse property right here. So in order to get rid of sine or cosine or any trig function, you have to do the inverse. So you see this -1, that's the inverse. That's called cosine inverse. It's not the same as a negative exponent. You have to know that with the trig functions. And it also has alternate names. You might see arc sine, arc cosine, arc tangent. Those are the same as inverse. So we're going to do the inverse. We're going to work this one out, and we're going to find the value of this function. So starting out, we have sine of theta equals 0.7452. All right, in order to get rid of this sine so we can figure out what theta is, we're going to do the inverse sine of both sides. So I'm going to do sine inverse. I'm going to do that and put all of this in parentheses, sine of theta equals, and you do that same thing to this side, sine inverse of 0.7452. So when you do this, the sine, inverse sine and sine cancel out, so you're just left with theta equals whatever we get here. And we have to use a calculator to find that value. So if you have a graphing calculator, scientific calculator, one thing you need to do is make sure it is in degree mode. So next to the second button up here is a mode button. So generally your calculator is going to be in radian mode. So you can see that third row. We want it to be in degree mode because we're looking for a degree measurement. So I'm going to go down. I'm going to arrow to the right so that degree is highlighted, and then you hit enter so that it selects. And you notice that radian is no longer dark, and now degree is the one that's dark. Second, quit to exit, and then we're going to do sine inverse of this number. So the way we do that, you can see sine, cosine, and tangent right toward the middle of your calculator. In yellow above those, you can see the inverse, sine, inverse tangent, inverse cotangent, or sorry, inverse sine, inverse cosine, inverse tangent. But we want inverse sine, so we have to hit second button and then the sine button, and then you get the inverse. And then we're just going to type in the 0.7452 and then hit enter. So we get 48.17, and we want to round to the nearest tenth. So it's going to be about 48.2. Okay. So what we're getting is 48.2 degrees. So that's what theta is going to be.